Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to today's Water Wednesday. If this is the first time you tune in, you may wonder what is Water Wednesday. So for Water Wednesday is a group of agents and specialists at UF IFAS Extension. Every Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, we provide a science-based topic about water, about Florida's precious resource, water. If this is the first time you turn in again, so you may wonder what's UF IFAS extension. So I usually say the best way to introduce us is a weird extension of University of Florida. So the difference between us and the other organizations, we say we provide science-based. We have university as our background. So all the information we say today, it's not our opinion, it's research-based. And today's talk is about your ring sensors. So have you ever wondered like that white thing on your roof, what that is? So if you don't know what that is, then welcome to today's Water Wednesday. You will learn all you will learn all the information you need about your ring sensors. And our guest speaker is Eva Pabin. She is the residential horticulture agent at Osceola County, and she is also the Master Gardener Coordinator. So let's welcome Eva.
Hi, good afternoon. Let me see. So good afternoon. Yes, my name is Eva Pavon and I am in Osceola County. I am, like Julian say, I am the residential horticulture agent and I specialize normally in what is just your regular maintenance, your gardens. I also teach vegetable gardening class and many other classes, but today we're going to be talking about your rain sensor. I also do the Master Gardeners coordinator, and if you're not aware of what the Master Gardeners are, it's a group of volunteers that go through training program, and after they complete their training, they volunteer in the community teaching and providing education to the community. So, but let's stop talking about who I am and what I do here in Extension Services in Osceola County, and let's talk about your rain sensor. So let me share my screen. So what we want to talk is your rain sensor is working. How you know that? Okay, so I already said who I am, and you can find me in Osceola County. But let's say I want you to look at this picture, and if you're active here or is not, you watch this video later, I want you to think about what is going on here and tell me, you know, what you see that is wrong, what is going on here. So I know it's only a few people here, but I want you to look at the video, and I took this in my house, where we can see that it's raining, but also the irrigation is running. Okay, so why that happened? You know, what is wrong there? Do you see this happening often? Because I do. I drive through my neighborhood or I drive to others' neighborhood, and I see a lot of time that irrigation is running while it's raining, which is, we know that is not necessary. Okay. So what is the rain sensor? The rain sensor is that little device that you're gonna see on one of the sides of your house, okay? And it's white, it's typically probably like between 6 to 8 inches long, and it's attached to your roof. And then that is connected to your irrigation box, okay? It is designed to interrupt the auto irrigation system. So when you have your irrigation system, it has an auto button that you can have, so when you're not at home, the irrigation system runs by itself. Okay, so this is designed to interrupt that system if it's raining, or if it rained the night before, like 3 inches of rain, like we typically do during the summer. Okay, It is connected to the irrigation system controller. So you will see there should have a cable that goes from the roof to the irrigation system controller. Um, they need to be exposed to rain. So very important, if you have an irrigation system and you have one of the sensors and your house has been established and you have big trees around your house and those trees are established and now they cover the rain sensor, you need to consider maybe to move the rain sensor to an area that is exposed. Okay, so if you look, this is also in my house, you see the blue sky. So because that's what we want to make sure the rain sensor is exposed and is required by law. Okay, so here in Florida, the irrigation systems is required by law to have a rain sensor or other shut-off device, and is if you want to look at it, is the Florida Statute 373.62. And that says any person who operates an automatic landscaping irrigation system should properly install, maintain, and operate technology that inhibit or interrupt operation of the system during period of sufficient moisture. Okay, so what this means is that any irrigation system should have this, and new houses that have it by law from early years, and this law was signed in 2010, I believe. So we want to make sure that you have a rain sensor that is working and you have that at your house. Okay, so what are the advantages of a rain sensor? First of all, conserve water. And we know, and we don't have to go over all this, but we know that it's been established for many years that if we keep using the water the way we're using, the potable water the way we're using it, eventually we're gonna get in trouble. Okay, so we need to conserve the water. Also, a lot of the potable water that we have is being used in the landscaping. And if we have to choose between drinking water or irrigating our landscaping, which one you want to choose? Okay, save money. Like I'm sure that when you receive your water bill and during the drought season is way different than when you're able to shut off your system when when you don't need to water. So it save money in your water bill. Okay, reduce the wear on the irrigation system. So when we are not using excessively the irrigation system, the system will last longer. Okay, so it also helps with that. Reduces plant diseases like fungus and other problems, because when we have too much water, like the other day, last week, we had rain in Osceola County every day. And imagine, and on top of that, we are irrigating our grass, there's going to be diseases, there's going to be problem in our grass, in our bushes, in our shrubs. Okay, so it helps reduce plant diseases and also reduce weeds. I don't know if you're able to see one right there, but I want you to look close and look at the weeds. And there is one little weed there that is very common when we're watering way too much. Okay, and it's the dollar weed. And in this case, this is also from my house. And it's not that I'm overwatering. These 2 or 3 or 4 guys that are in that picture are because of all the rain we got last week. Okay, so I don't judge me. Okay, so but it also reduces weeds and also helps to protect the surface and groundwater and reduces runoff. Okay, and I want to talk a little bit about runoff. Runoff is that water that is not absorbed into the landscaping or soil. Okay, then when we have like our afternoon showers that is like 3 inches of water, 4 inches of water, like we had 2 weeks ago here in Osceola County, in a period of 2 hours, you see a lot of water going down the sidewalks and the streets. So that is runoff water, is the water that the soil cannot absorb, okay, because the soil is saturated. So when we are using a shut-off device and we are irrigating the correct way, we're avoiding a lot of this runoff. The runoff can is the water can flow down the streets, sidewalks, and driveways to the end and going down the storm drain. Okay, so it's going to go down the storm drain, and then eventually, or this water can take with the whole water, it can take exposed soil, you know, landscaping debris, oil, fertilizer, pesticides that will go down the drain to that retention pond that we know those retention ponds, you know, goes to bigger lakes and then go to the water, the coast. Okay, so the runoff is that excessive water and can cause some issues if we're not careful. Okay, so my question for you, and I want you to think about this, do we need to have irrigation running automatic during the summer? Okay, think about that, and I will tell you that the answer is no. Okay, so you should have the irrigation off. Okay, but I understand that sometimes we go on vacation and then we, like, if you go out of town for 2 weeks and those are the 2 weeks that we didn't have any rain, you know, your grass is going to suffer a little, so sometimes we have to turn it on. I personally, what I do is I have it off during the summer. As soon as the raining season starts, I have it off. And like, I know my watering schedule that is established by my water utility company. And like yesterday, my watering days are Wednesdays and Sundays. And yesterday I knew we didn't have rain for 2 days. I checked the weather calendar, you know, I checked the weather and just didn't look that it was going to rain today. So I went manually and turned it on. Okay, so that my grass can have water today because it hasn't rained in my house since Saturday. So that is one of the things that you can do, turn it on and off manually. And but always you still have to follow your local watering schedule. Okay, and the third one is we need to make sure, if you know, if you're like, no, I have a busy life and I cannot be doing all that, you know, on and off constantly, then we need to make sure your rain sensor is working. And then how we check that? First of all, I have seen some of the biggest mistake people, homeowners do is, first of all, your irrigation has to be run. So it has to be running. And this is like, I'm not sponsoring any of the company. This happened to be my irrigation system. So you want to make sure your irrigation system is in run. Okay, and if you look on the left side of this picture, there is an area that says bypass rain sensor or active. So you want to make sure your rain sensor device is active. If you put it in bypass, if it's raining, your irrigation system is going to run anyway. So you want to make sure it's active. Okay. Then it's important that you test your system at least once a year. Okay. So you need to calibrate your system, and we're going to watch a little video together about how to calibrate your system after this slide. And you need to set your sensor to for 1/2 inch. So the sensors are set that you can have it if it's only 1/8 of an inch of water, 1/2 inch or 3/4. So you manually can set that with your sensor. Okay. So what we want to do is manually pour some water in the sensor and see if the irrigation system is running. If the irrigation system is running, even after you put water in the sensor, that means the system is not working correctly. Okay, you can do it with a water can. Obviously, you will have to get a ladder and go up there and put a water can, or you can do it with your hose. So just make sure you pour water, or if you have a rain gauge and you know that the day before we had 1 inch of water, the following day your irrigation system should not run. So, but it's very important that we set it up. Like you see the arrow, the green arrow, that we set it up that is at least 1/2 inch of water. Okay. So let's watch this little video together that will tell you how to calibrate your irrigation system.
Hi, Eva. Sorry. I don't think the video has sound. I heard feedback on Facebook. They couldn't hear the sound. I cannot hear the sound either. So I'm going to share the link in the comment so they can watch that later.
Okay, so I understand that there is not sound on the video. I apologize for that. I could hear it on my side. Um, so what we're gonna do is there's gonna be a link that you can watch the video later if you can. Okay, so and I'm sorry for that. Um, so if the irrigation, but I can go over a little bit about how to calibrate, or just for the sake of time, just watch the video because now we'll go over my time. So if the irrigation system is running anyway, after you do all the water and are testing your irrigation system, the sensor may have to be either clean, you know, so sometimes there is some debris that get there, you know, birds get curious and they start thinking, you know, putting stuff in there. So you need to make sure it's clean. You need to look where it's located. Make sure there is not, you know, a tree over your your sensor. Make sure it's an open area. And sometimes we just have to repair or replace the sensor. I will tell you, it is not expensive. Is there's different sensors out there, but it was the one I got for this presentation. It was under $20, and it's available pretty much in every garden center. There is also other products like soil moistures and that you can put, but that one is a little more complicated to install. And sometimes you need an electrician to do it. Okay. So I hope it was helpful, the presentation. I thank you. I will take questions if there is any questions there. And if you have any, you would like any more information, you can either email me or you can call me on my direct line here at the office, and I'm available for answering any questions that you have.
Thank you, Eva. That's very helpful. I'm checking our Facebook page now because I know there's about 20 seconds delay between Facebook and the Zoom. I'm looking at the comments now. So far, I don't see any questions. Meanwhile, I do have a question about
Yes.
just like about the sensor, because I thought what you need to do is like if you check if your ring sensor is working or not, you need to hold it down for 10 minutes. So is that necessary or just a fun?
No, I will just put it up, just make sure that it's really wet, and then it should shut off your irrigation. Or just get like a water can, like at least a cup of water, and put it there, and it should stop.
Oh, so it's very immediate. It
Yeah,
doesn't really need like that much water.
no, no.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's also depend on the system and how old is that shut off device and all that. One of the recommendations that we do around here is that, you know, it's a $20 sensor that you at least replace like every few years, because the materials that are inside, they're made out of plastic, and they, you know, the sun in Florida, what could happen, it will crack, it's not working properly, so it's good to replace it every few years.
Gotcha.
And that's why it's important to try make sure it's working.
Hmm.
The,
Yeah, I heard from landscapers, they told me it's like about 90% of ring sensors are not working
yeah,
correctly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is also is most of them I have noticed, and when I bought my house, and my house is pretty new, they during the inspection, the guy said to me, "Don't ever put it in bypass. You always want it active. I mean, you want to put it bypass, not put it in active, because you want the rain is a new turf. So, but then homeowners keep that in mind. Oh, I want to bypass all the time, when after your grass is established, you need to put it active, that
Yes.
the rain sensor is working. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that homeowners do. They have to look at the clock, at the system, and make sure it's active.
Yeah, that's good to know. Very true. We tend to forget that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking at our Facebook page now. I see uh, we have people. We have one attendee from Charlotte County. I'm sorry, I'm not that familiar with the geography all of a sudden. Which part of the state is that?
Me either. So it's two of us.
Seems like I have a homework to do after today's live. It's just
I
check
know.
out. I want to say hi, Sarah from Charlotte County. I will do my homework, find out where Charlotte County is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know it's now in Central Florida. That's all I can see. I feel a little bit embarrassed. And we have, I don't see any questions here. I see a couple of thank you to you. And I also want to say thank you, Ever. That's very helpful. And I just shared the link in the comment of the calibration, your irrigation calibration. We do encourage you to watch that because it's very critical. It's also associated to your ring sensors. And meanwhile, I also want to let you know, I haven't done the Facebook promo yet. In July, we do have a talk. It's about irrigation system. It will teach you how to set up your irrigation clock and also how to calibrate your irrigation system. And for next Water Wednesday, it's the hurricane preparedness. So we're already in the hurricane season, and according to NOAA, this year we'll have a very active hurricane season, will be higher than a normal year. So for next week, we have two very experienced FCS agents will give you a quick Facebook live talk about hurricane preparedness. And that I want to thank you all for your time, and please follow on our Facebook page and tune in every Wednesday. So bye now.
Thank you.